Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Another episode, Nothing's Off the Table. I have a very special guest today. His name is Frank Parisi.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fellow paisano.
Yeah.
He's sober.
Coming up on 14 years, July 31st, God willing, of this month, I'll have 14 years of sobriety.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
And he has an amazing story. He's overcome a lot of adversity. You've looked death right in the eyes. I don't know how many times. And, you know, I've watched your story a couple times on Instagram, and I didn't want to watch your episode with our boy Kevin because I didn't want to taint the waters and know what to ask you. Like, I wanted our conversation today to just be free flowing and really getting to know one another.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about.
Absolutely.
Bro. You know what I mean? And just from what I've seen, bro, like insane. And the positivity, embrace abundance, like I think you've really seized the moment, and with everything you've been through, you've learned that God had a purpose for you on this earth. And I've been through the same. And I've also realized that I'm on this earth for a purpose different than what I thought my purpose was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think their purpose is make money, do this, do that, be successful, start a company, and then life comes at you and you turn around, your purpose gets revealed. And I think both of our shared purpose is helping others.
100%. That's why I'm here.
Take us from the top, bro. Where are you from?
I grew up right here, New York City, baby.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
I grew up right downtown. I grew up on Elizabeth and Houston Street, you know? So, and you got to realize I'm 45 years old. So when I grew up in the city, you know, everyone says the city's crazy and all that. But listen to me. The city when I grew up was way more nuts than it ever could be now. It's like, you can't even compare. So I grew up on Elizabeth in between Houston and Bleecker Street, around the corner from CBGB. It's not there no more. Punk rock club. Down the street from the first ever Def Jam Studios.
Wow.
So Def Jam Studios was a few buildings down. This is before hip hop was out. Just started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then also you gotta realize crack cocaine just came into our country. This is like early 80s. I was born in 1979. So you got crack cocaine, you got the hip hop, you got CBGB. There's no cops. You know, Lower East Side back then was like, it wasn't, you know, it's not what it is now, brother.
It's
like,
all hipster.
Nolita. My neighbor was not called Nolita.
Rent is $35,000 a month for a 400 square foot box.
So the only thing that kept the neighborhood safe was the mob.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the reality of what it was. And like I grew up 2 blocks down the street from Gotti's Social Club. You know, I mean, every corner was a different family. And so like my environment was very different, bro. My dad was involved with the street and organized crime. And as a kid, we grew up in Parisi Bakery. It's been there since 1903. It's still on Mott Street, right? My cousin's over there. But I grew up in the building on Elizabeth Street, above the bakery. And as a little kid, my uncles would keep like 4 or 5 baseball bats in front of the building. And whenever there would be any illegal activity in front of the building, my fathers and uncles would say, hey, why don't you go down the block and handle this? And many times people would not comply, and out would come the bats, brother. And here I am. Like, this is my life in the city. Like, everyone's life in the city is different.
Yeah, that wasn't my life.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's different lives here. And it was like violence, bro. Like, I'm like 4 or 5. I remember share a quick story just to, you know, give a little thing. Here I am 5 years old, and I'm watching the guy was, I don't know what he was doing, but my father told him go down the street, and he wouldn't. And there was an abandoned car in front of the building. And my father comes out with a baseball bat and starts crippling this guy. And I'm like 4 years old, bro. Watching another man getting hit with a baseball bat. And then for whatever reason, which never happened, cops actually did come and arrest my dad in front of me. But at the time, AIDS just came out.
Mm.
And everyone was scared of AIDS. It's not like now where you like take whatever.
Yeah.
One of the cops went in, and because my father goes, he's got a needle in there, that he went into the car and got stuck with it. And this is how wild the city was. They unlock my father and they start crippling the guy.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's like the environment, brother, you know? And then my father was involved with the street. You know, at that time he was young. My mom and dad had me young, 25 and 20.
Mm.
And, you know, he was in the street in the bakery, and he started to, as we got older, started to, you know, really move up in that life and make a lot of money. And like, so as I got older, like the last thing I'm going to do is go to school, bro. Like I remember, like now you're talking, I'm like, we moved to Staten Island, but we got the bakery, and I'm like, now I'm like in high school. And, you know, along with that life is a lot of sadness, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember counting like 100 racks at like 18 years old, and like with like his man would come in from the Bronx with like the Chrysler LeBaron with like 300 pounds apart.
Yeah.
And we're like chopping it up, and I'm watching this, and I'm watching the guys, and I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
You know? And it was really cool, but the part about it that's not cool is my father also suffered from like what we did. He had a cocaine problem, and you can't tell nobody about that.
Yeah.
And you definitely can't tell nobody about that in that life.
No.
And you definitely can't say nothing to nobody. So here I am, this kid with all this like insanity. Like my dad was amazing, but he had his traumas that he never healed. Like, for example, he took me to 1994 Stanley Cup Championship. Rangers, I was there, Game 7. Marc Messier raised the cup, bro. I was there for Game 7, last row of the Madison Square Garden, bro.
Yeah.
That night, my uncle's there with my dad and his friend, and my uncle's high. My dad's high.
Yeah.
His friend's smoking crack in the bathroom, not even watching the game. That night, the Rangers win, greatest moment of my life, and we go back to the bakery, and he's throwing M80s in the street, and this is just one story. These dudes are like cursing at him. He pulls out a fucking machete. Here I am, 14 years old. Pulls out a fucking machete, starts chopping the bar up. You know, then he takes me home and goes back to the city, and in a blackout, like destroys my house. You know, so it's very confusing.
What's up, everybody? I'm Louis Ruggiero, and I'm the host of Nothing's Off the Table. Let's be real. Whether you're in recovery or not, coffee is more than just a habit. It's a ritual. That's why I've partnered with Pink Cloud Coffee. It's a brand built by people in recovery for people in recovery. It's premium, ethically sourced coffee with a purpose. This isn't just about caffeine. It's about connection, clarity, and showing up for your day with intention. And here's the best part. A portion of every sale goes toward helping someone else on their path to recovery. So every cup you drink helps someone else stay sober. Head to the link in my bio and use the code LJ at checkout to get 10% off your first 10 orders. You won't regret it. A lot of chaos.
And love.
Yeah.
So it's like you're taking me to Super Bowls, things kids don't get to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to like, I was like 17. I went to the Super Bowl, and I'm in strip clubs in New Orleans.
Mm.
You know what I mean? With the guys.
Yeah.
I was like one of the guys as a kid, but it's like I was being groomed in the wrong way, brother. As a dad today, I know like, and they only know what they know.
Yeah.
Until like somebody changes something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I had this conversation with my mom and I. We were talking once, and we've tried family therapy a couple times, and you know, my mom comes from similar upbringings, Italians, that kind of life. And she always says, we don't talk about our feelings, period. And we definitely don't talk about our feelings with strangers. And my mom would always say like, oh, like your addictions have made me feel like a bad mom.
Mm.
And I'm like, there's nothing more that you could have done for me. You were doing the best with what you had, you know? And listen, my dad's family, my mom's family has no addiction. My dad's family, my dad's dad was a compulsive gambler that gambled away the house 3 times.
I have all that in my family too. Uncles that lost businesses.
Yes. All alcoholics, all addicts. And my dad would tell me stories of just the chaos and the turmoil that was constantly in the house, but also a very loving father.
Yeah.
Bro, took him to
Everything.
It was at every single football practice, every single football game, but then would be like, get in the car, we're going to Connecticut to watch highlight. My grandfather would gamble away every single fucking penny. My dad Sunday morning would be studying lines for my grandfather just so that there'd be a chance he wouldn't lose, and the chaos that would ensue when he would lose. So yeah, I listen, I don't relate to it directly because my house was a little different. I come from a good family, obviously, but my parents worked 24/7. So I had that missing aspect of a mom always home or a dad always home, but also very loving, and they tried to show me the right path. But bro, I gravitated towards like the guys on the street. I gravitated towards, I saw a guy counting 100 racks with 300 pounds of weed. I wanted to do that. I didn't gravitate towards the fucking bankers with the suits. Fuck that. I don't want to do that.
Well,
I want to be running the street.
Where I was, there was none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like most of my friends' fathers weren't even around.
Yeah.
And if they were, it was like they were a sanitation worker or a fireman. You know what I mean? With a side hustle.
Yeah.
And like to get that like little extra, they had to do that little extra. And maybe that little extra was like doing something not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where I'm from, like I didn't see, like my map is different today. But as a kid, my map was only, and you didn't have Instagram. You didn't have social media. You didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
So you only knew what you knew at that time.
Did you have beepers?
We had beepers. Yeah. Like later on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like later on. But that life, my dude, like at 12 years old, I started smoking weed.
Yeah.
My dad was one of the biggest pot dealers. It's on Google, and I wrote a book, so I don't care no more.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of freedom in it too, because I carried that for so long.
Yeah.
All these secrets that kept me sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the pain kept me sick. And today I'm an open book. Literally, I wrote a book. But like that's what caused my addiction was like that trauma, bro. Like until we are able to heal our traumas, our limited beliefs or beliefs that aren't even ours.
Yeah.
They've been passed down.
Yeah.
Once we could heal that, and sometimes environment too, then we become open, you know. But I was stuck in a program, and like there's a thing, and it's truth, it's scientific about fleas. Like you put fleas in a mason jar, bro. Fleas could jump 3 to 6 feet. But you put the fleas in the mason jar and they put the lid on the flea and they keep it on for 2 weeks. And the flea, they take it off, the flea could jump out. But it's been conditioned for 2 weeks to jump to the lid. Even though there's no lid, it just jumps to the lid. And then what happens is they have kids. And the kids could jump. But they just jump to the lid, even though there's no lid.
That's all they know.
That's all they know, bro. You know what I mean? And I only knew what I knew until like addiction like came into my life and just like ravaged me. You know, for a long time, I just smoked pot. I drank, you know, a pot here and there, maybe a pill here and there. But as it got, you know, once you still go down that road, you start living that life, you start being around all this, it's just low vibration, bad energy. You can't trust nobody. You can't trust nothing or nobody, bro. You know, I used to go to work. We'd have at the bakery, we'd have guns in the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like heightened sense, constantly fight or flight.
Yeah.
The only thing that could set my nervous system was drugs when I found it.
Yeah.
The problem with drugs is it works until it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you take that pill and you feel great. And it's like, man, you know, you do it once in a while. It's all right. You know what I mean? And then that Vicodin turns to the Percocet. And then that Perc 10 turns to like the Roxy 30. And you know what I mean? And then that Roxy 30 that you were just doing like once in a while is like now you're doing it like every other day. And then before you know it, you're doing it every day. And then before you know it, I'm like watching at my mother's house that I'm staying at right now. I'm watching the All-Star game when the Minute Maid Park opened in Houston, and I don't got these pills.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
I'm strung out.
Then you're just fucking doing them so you're not sick anymore.
So you're not even sick. You're not even getting high. And then
That's
it's like the
worst.
shame that comes with that, right? Like, you're in so much shame that you're like, I don't want to tell nobody. Like, I had a rep. I had a rep in where I was from.
Yeah.
The last thing I was doing was telling anybody, yo, I got a problem with this stuff.
Yeah.
Last thing. And that kept me so sick for years, brother. You know what I mean? For years, I didn't want to tell until the cat came out the bag, man. I overdosed.
How long were you doing dope for?
Well, just pills.
Just oxys.
Just oxys. Man, I probably took my first pill at like 16, but it was like a perk. They didn't have oxys yet. And, but I got addicted to it. I would probably say like early 20s. And that lasted to 31, dude. Like, I'm just talking about like almost like a decade where I had 1 year of sobriety in between there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Running, dude. I mean, till 31 running, you know what I mean? In the street, like a street guy. Like, it got bad, brother. Really bad, bro. I was not a high class addict. I was in the projects.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I feel like I want to say to you that I was a high class addict too, but like, I don't really know many high class addicts, bro.
I'm just saying, like, at one point I got to like, I'm smoking crack in the projects. Like, that's how bad it came. And I didn't come from that.
Yeah.
As bad as my life was, I didn't come from that. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Like, as crazy as my insane life was, we didn't come from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's where it took me, the pain and the trauma, the unhealed, like, I never resolved that work.
We're only as sick as our secrets.
Yeah, bro. You got to heal that, man. And honestly, it really didn't fully get healed, dude, until like all the other stuff happened.
I want to go back to something you said where it's like, you were talking about these like morals that are instilled in you and kind of passed on, and kind of a struggle that I had was that like not a lot of them, but certain morals or values or opinions that were put onto me as a young kid. As I got older, I really struggled. And this kind of fueled my drug addiction a bit, was that I really struggled because I didn't want to be everything that my parents wanted me to be, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense.
You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be a good person. I wanted to support my family. I wanted to do like the general idea of what a good family man is, but I didn't want to be what my mom wanted to be professionally, and like just like certain things. And I remember that struggle and that shame and guilt that came with it led me to do the drugs, right? I didn't listen, I fucking did. The accountability is I did drugs, right? Because I was a rebel and I thought the consequences didn't apply to me. But then when I did them, and I was like, oh wait, this actually turns off that voice that says you're a piece of shit and that you're not good enough. And that's what fucking kept it going.
That's the same voice I had, bro.
Yeah.
It's no different. It's just maybe the experience, but it's the same voice. And that's what shuts it off.
When you smoked crack for the first time, were you like, fuck, this is bad?
Yeah. I only smoked it for like a month. I got sober. Thank God. Yeah. Wow. Like, you smoke that stuff like you can't stop.
I know. No, it's really, you know what's fucked up is that I never smoked crack, but I smoked meth. I had like a 3-day bender with meth, and I'd sworn up and down my whole life, I'll never smoke meth. Like, meth is dirty. The bums smoke meth, whatever fucking excuse I made myself. And I remember smoking meth for the first time, and I was fucking tweaking. And I was like, fuck. It's like, I understand why people love this. This is really addicting. I smoked meth for 3 days straight, no sleep, was hallucinating, took a bunch of Xanax, came out of it. And I was like, I'm never smoking meth again. And then, went back to all the other drugs for another 6 months, and then I finally got sober. But curious, you got sober 14 years ago. How? You're doing it for fucking 10 years. What finally
So I went to like 5 treatments.
You overdosed.
I overdosed in 2005.
Yeah.
And I had gone to this place in upstate New York, it's not there no more. It was called the New Direction. It was the oldest treatment center in New York State. And I went there for like the 3rd time, and they were like, we'll keep you here, but you have to go somewhere longer. So they shipped me down to Texas. That's where I finally went to Texas for the first time. And I started working in treatment there. I went to treatment there for 4 months, got sober, I worked the steps, but I failed to enlarge,
Yeah.
I always say, and this is good for the listeners, there's a reason there's a circle and a triangle. And what happens is, you get sober and things start to get better. You start to, get your weight up. You start to get your money up. You start getting shit. And all the things that you were doing, because what for me, it's the 12 steps. It's a lot more now, but in the beginning, it was the 12 steps. And the 12 steps enable me to have a relationship with God. But there's maintenance steps within those steps, which is steps 10 and 11. And then what happens is we work these steps, well, I did, and I'm going to meetings and I'm doing service, but I'm not living in 10 and 11. There's no prayer and meditation. There's no accountability. There's no nightly review. And what happens is I start showing up to these meetings in ego, and I'm asleep to it because I'm not in that daily practice. And I think because my eyes are open that I'm awake, but I'm asleep dreaming I'm awake. And then before you know it,
you're back.
I'm back. And so that led to 4 more years after the year of sobriety of like in and out of jails, institutions, all of the insanity.
What were you going to jail for?
Deals, a million accidents. I crash a car on a Friday outside the Battery Tunnel, get out on a Monday and crash another fucking car, bro.
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's like I'm only laughing because I actually understand that. Like I could see myself doing that too.
So yeah, and then like other times it was like my wife's an attorney. My wife used to work as an attorney on Wall Street.
So you were with your wife
since we're 17.
Oh, so she's been with you through the whole
thing. She's like, I'm like the king of New York. She used to defend me in court.
Oh my God.
Her last name was Goldberg. I married a Jew.
Oh my God. Pizza. You guys got pizza bagels.
She's got a little Italian in it too, but her maiden name was Goldberg. So like literally like when the money ran out and I get another pinch, it'd be like, and then somehow like I know this is bad, but it's like God like protected me through family, through my wife, through I got arrested more times. I can't even count, but I never caught a felony, brother.
Yeah.
Somehow something always happened.
Bless.
Somehow something always happened. I'd have to do a drug court, a diversion, something.
Yeah.
And then it would, So yeah, it was just a lot of freaking insanity, dog. And then July 31st, I'm living in Midland Beach in Staten Island and like plastic on the windows. And my wife's an attorney on Wall Street. Like this is how bad it got, bro. Like here I am, 31-year-old man. I'm not ashamed to say this because people need to hear this stuff.
Yeah.
Because there might be somebody out there that's like 40 on dope and thinks there's no way out. And it's like, I'm telling you, bro, let me tell you something, bro. You could be a fucking CEO of a company one day and you're hiring people at 40 years old banging dope right now.
Yep.
Because I was 31 years old and here I am strung out, right? My wife's working on Wall Street as an attorney. I'm like here and there working at the bakery if my father even lets me around. And I owe money in the street and I don't got to pay it. And the kid comes looking at my house for the money. And it's like $400. Could you imagine? 31-year-old man, $400 doesn't have to pay. And my wife comes out and pays a grown man's street debt. You know what I mean? Talk about incomprehensible demoralization.
Yep.
There's been many times like that. I mean, a whole fight ensued after that. You know what I mean? I don't got to get into all that stuff with me and the guy. But my point is to that, like, how humiliating. And there was so many experiences like that. But for whatever reason that day, my brother, God granted me like this moment of clarity. And I looked myself in the mirror that day, bro. And I said, Frank, it doesn't matter how we got here. You're in a ditch. Like, no more victim, bro.
Yeah.
Like the victim shit's gotta die, bro, because your victim is keeping you here. Like maybe shit happened to you, bro, but there ain't nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
You're in a ditch. So your only focus has to be now getting out of the ditch. And then since that day, my brother, my focus has been these 4 things: evolution, elevation, creation, and service. I started doing 10, 12-step meetings again. I put myself in the middle of this thing and things started to shift. I pick up the phone because I'm half like doing stuff at the bakery and then half trying to do this AA thing. And I pick up the phone and I call my friend that I was in treatment with in 2006 in Texas. And it's like another God moment. I'm like, bro, I got to get out of here. I'll go work for $10 an hour. Can you please hire me, like get me a job? And he's like, I'm opening a treatment center.
Oh, wow.
He's like, come out here next week. I'm like, come out here next week. I go home to my wife. I said, Cole's opened up a treatment center in Texas. Are you down to leave? She's like, yeah. Like one day, like my wife. And we had no money. We had no money. We had like $8,000 saved, bro. And so I get on an airplane and my dad's like, where are you? I'm supposed to be at work. And I'm like, I'm out. Yeah, blind faith. And I was making $36,000 a year at that place.
What did Pop say when you said you were out?
He was upset.
Yeah.
My family was very controlling of me, brother. Like wanted full control of everything. Yeah. Like my father was like very like on top of everything. It was like very unhealthy for me.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like that's a lot in Italian families. Italian families are very like enmeshed. Yeah, everyone knows how much money you got, where you are at all times. Fucking, if you got a rash, they know what the rash looks like. It's too much sometimes. Yeah, it's too much.
So I left, and with that started my whole journey, brother, of like, you know, from the ground up, learning the mental health and substance abuse industry and working my way up through that, through like owning my own facilities, through, you know, building a family, you know, and this life of like real true abundance and service. You know, I've been through a lot in my life, like even in sobriety, things happen, right? You know, we get tested, you know, I've been tested many times in my sobriety, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, dude. It's been like, it's the biggest blessing in my life has been my recovery coming up on 14 years.
God bless,
being
bro.
able to be up here with my son, walking around with him in like the old neighborhood and showing him everything, teaching him. Like if I was not in this vibration and this person, this version, what would his life look like, you know? And I know that why everything that has happened to me, Lewis, and we'll probably get into that, like why everything happened to me, like when I got sober 14 years ago, like it had nothing to do with me, bro. But I didn't know that at the time.
What do you mean?
My life has nothing to do with me. Like, it's nothing. My life has everything to do with my son and his future generations. I didn't know when I was getting sober 14 years ago that I thought I was getting sober for me. I was getting sober to change the DNA in my family, brother.
Generational curse.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel the same way.
Yeah, bro.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's really, I made you repeat that. My life has nothing to do with me. Because people are so encapsulated with themselves. And listen, that's life, right? I think at times everyone can be a little selfish, and at times you need to be selfish, right? When you first got sober, they say in the rooms, you need to be selfish right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But I am selfish today. Like in the morning, I wake up and I got to get my stuff done.
Yeah.
I got to get my prayer, my meditation, my intention, my reading, my journaling, my workout, my water, my healthy meal, and then I could be for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that like 2% allows you to be perfect for that 98% that you got left of the day.
Absolutely.
I'd love to, you know, I know you've been through a lot in sobriety, and one of those things is that you've had a heart transplant. And I didn't know too much about your story. I've seen it obviously on your Instagram and everything else. Okay, so let's how long ago did you get your heart transplant?
2 years ago, June 3rd of 2023. I could take you through the whole story, brother.
Yeah, bro. I really want to hear, because
in sobriety, for the listeners, I've lost babies. Like in my wife's womb,
Yeah.
for 4.5 months. I've watched my dad die of cancer. I've lost businesses. I've been through a lot, brother, you know? But every time we go through the hard and we get out on the other side, we get a lesson from it.
Yep.
And so my greatest lesson has been over the past 2 years. I've had the most lessons in my life. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. And we're going to get into the story now. So January of 2023, I have a consulting business at the time. I'm helping build a treatment program. Take it from not doing well at all, like losing over $1 million a year, to like top line revenue, $7.2 million. And I'm in the middle of building this at this time. And in January of 2023, I live in Central Texas now. I live in Austin, Texas, and I developed this cough. But every year in January, I get this cough because there's cedar in Texas, which is like, it's like the highest allergy account, Central Texas in the country. They're in Colorado. So I usually go and get antibiotics, and I get a B12 shot, and not antibiotic, I get steroids and a B12 shot, and everything goes away.
Yeah.
This year, that didn't happen. 2023, it didn't happen. So I go to another doctor, another primary care physician, because that didn't clear up, and they give me more steroids, and it's not getting better. They do like a chest x-ray, and the doctor goes, you should probably go see a specialist, you know? This cough is like, it's like, it starts in like the evening, and now it's like all day and night, right? And I'm like feeling sick and losing weight. And so like, I started to feel like I didn't want to be part of life. And this is like in February now, and I make an appointment with a medium because I want to talk to my dad. I'm not even this type of guy, bro. You know what I mean? But I make an appointment with a medium to talk to my dad, and I don't have it until like May. So now this cough's getting worse, and like my mom's like, you like everyone's like, you should go see some specialist now. And so I make the appointment because now I'm losing weight, and so I make the appointment with a gastrointestinal, and everything comes back good. I have an appointment with the pulmonologist. A week later, I have one with a cardiologist. So I go to the pulmonologist, and they say they do all these tests on me, and they say you have a rare pneumonia called organizing pneumonia, and like 3% of the population got it after COVID, and we're going to have to treat you with 60 milligrams of amoxicillin, and we're going to break it down over 6 months. That's not amoxicillin, prednisone, steroid. 60 milligrams of that and 2,000 milligrams of amoxicillin. So I'm going to be on the prednisone for 6 months.
Jeez.
And I'm like, this is the worst shit I ever heard in my life. Like, I'm building this company right now. Like, things are rolling. Like I'm going to be down for like 6 months, bro. You know what I mean? So I canceled the pulmonologist appointment because I literally just went to you good? I literally just went to a specialist, right? So I cancel the cardiologist appointment, right? I get home, I start the therapies, it's getting worse. I get worse. Now I'm coughing orange stuff up. I got nurses coming to my house giving me drips. I got energy healers coming to my house because I don't know what's wrong with me, brother. Like, I'm coughing all day and all night. The doc that calling me gives me more medication. Then on May 8th, my bro, okay? On May 8th of 2023, I cough up a half a bottle of blood that night.
Jeez. So you knew now. You're like, oh, this is
very bad
this
right
is
now.
not good.
This is not good, bro. This is not good. I said, Kat, this is not good to my wife. I said, we got to go to the hospital. She drove my son to school. It's his last week of school. My son's sitting there, watch. Louis, this gets really weird, bro. 2 weeks before, my niece is with me who's needed a freaking kidney transplant her whole life. Her whole life she's needed a kidney transplant. She's watching her uncle be sick. So I go to the hospital. The pulmonologist says, what happened to you? I said, what do you mean what happened to me? I told you, I feel like I'm dying, bro. They admit me into the ICU. I'm in Austin, Texas, okay? I'm there for hours. My wife has to go home and be with my son. I have no family in Texas. They say, you got sepsis, Mr. Parisi. They still misdiagnosing me, bro. They pump me with 17 liters of fluid. Then the nurse, you see the arm. One of the nurses didn't make sure the line went in.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a 3rd-degree burn from the inside out.
Oh my God.
And then one of the doctors finally figures out, he goes, Mr. Parisi, you don't have sepsis. You have 9% ejection fraction. Your heart and your liver and your kidneys are failing. Dude, 9% ejection fraction, only 10% of people have a survival rate.
Oh my God.
And here's where it gets weird, bro. Of all places that they're going to take me, it's not Austin or San Antonio or Dallas or Houston. It's a town of 20,000 people called Temple, Texas. There's like horses and cows, bro. And there's a town of 20,000 people, and the word Temple. Like, I know, brother, we're going to get into some shit, okay? So I go up in the ambulance, bro, and that's why I have so empathetic towards people. I see humanity so different. I see myself in everybody today. Like the guys that drove me up in the ambulance, I was like the extra delivery. They were upset that they had to go up in the middle of the night as I fought for my life. I never show up for like, bro, I answer all my followers. People don't even realize. You know how many people reach out to me today? I answer everybody.
Yeah.
So I go up, bro, 1.5-hour drive from Austin, 20,000 people, Temple, Texas. And my wife is there waiting with me, bro. You're going to meet my son. With a picture of my kid. Begging me to live, bro. And I got 10 minutes to sit with her and discuss life without me. You understand what I'm saying? So now they say they might have to put me on the most advanced form of life support called ECMO machine. Where, because my heart's not pumping enough, this is going to pump my heart. Bro, there's a doctor there named Dr. Reddy. And he came from out here, from Mount Sinai in New York, and he brought his whole team to Temple. He's not there no more. I'll talk to you about where he is after. His whole team's there, and then he saw what was wrong and reversed it. They put me on a ventilator, brother, and I died. And I left here. Earth. This.
How long were you on a ventilator for?
I don't know. Hours, bro. And I left and I had an out-of-body experience, brother. I went to a dark space. And I've been helping people for years, bro. And one of my men I grew up with this kid, he was like a little brother to me. I helped him get sober for a year. And then he went back to that life. And they killed him in Staten Island in his house. And my friend was with me. He was with me. And I'm looking down at my body and my wife next to me, curled up. And when you leave here, my experience was that like you communicate telepathically and there's no body, brother. It's just energy. And I knew Tamer was with me. And there was like communication telling me that he's going to take me to what's next. And I had a vision of my son walking with another man. And I said, I got to come back for my son. And so I come back, bro. And I'm in a bed for like 9 days and doctors are walking in with hazmat suits, brother. And then my room's boarded up. And they got a pump in my groin. I'm like, yo, put the pump in my neck so I could walk. I'm losing weight. I'm going to die in the bed. And they're telling me you might need a heart transplant or you might have tuberculosis because that's why they have the infectious stuff in.
Yeah.
Because the orange, could you imagine, Louis? The orange stuff that I'm coughing up, they think is blood.
My God.
This one doctor, Dr. Hernandez, kept telling me you're going to need a heart transplant. And I'm like, fuck you. The fuck do you mean heart transplant? I was working out 2 weeks ago. I was doing 15 pull-ups 2 weeks ago. What are you talking about heart transplant? They're like, you're going to either need a mitral valve replacement or a heart transplant. I'm in the bed 9 days. This doesn't make sense. I lost 45 pounds, brother. Working out's very important.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have the muscle that I had, I might not have made it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that shit didn't happen, this out-of-body thing, because when you, like, I died, like maybe my brain, maybe it was delusion.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that's the thing that happens. I'm questioning
You're
this
questioning
stuff.
everything right now.
But then I got this appointment with this medium. This doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah.
So I got this appointment with the medium. She's in Florida. And I'm like, Kat, I got the appointment with the medium today. It's May 18th, bro. I made it in February and I'm fighting for my life in a hospital bed. And she's like, I don't want you to talk. You'll talk to them about it. I don't want you to talk to. I said, I don't care. This is not normal. I want to talk to my dad.
Yeah.
And you could Google my name and see all the shit about my dad, bro. She knew. I talked to my dad, bro. She knew everything. Louis, all my doctors were from New York, brother. Dr. Reddy brought them all from here, bro. One of my doctors dad was in the mob, bro, in Temple, Texas. 20,000 people, brother. Another one of them went to the same college as my wife, Wagner College, bro.
That's crazy.
20,000 people. She goes, are all your doctors from New York? I said, yeah. She goes, your dad sent them there for you. And she kept telling me about a pendant and a chain and a birthday. My mom comes in from New York the next day and I go, Ma, this lady knew everything about Daddy. She knew all the doctors were here. She said he sent them. But she kept getting two things wrong, a birthday and a pendant and chain. My dad's mom died when he was 14, brother. May 19th was her birthday. He was telling me it's her birthday.
Wow.
And the pendant and chain. When my dad died, my Aunt Dolores gave a pendant to my grandma, to my mom.
Wow.
She gave it to my Aunt Camille, my dad's sister. I'm in the bed, brother, and I FaceTime my Aunt Camille, and she's wearing the pendant and fucking chain.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, bro, this did happen.
Yeah.
This all did happen. So I'm like, yeah, I got confirmation, bro. I'm going to live. I don't know what this looks like, but I know God did let me come back here.
Yeah.
Like I'm not delusional, brother.
Yeah.
I know God has a mission for me and a purpose. And I said to myself, bro, and this is for the listeners out there, when you go through the hardest of times, it's never a victim. See, I stopped that shit 14 years ago. See, my swords are sharp. I developed a new human being. And I know when you're at your lowest in life, bro, remember this shit, because you ain't going to meet a person like me. When you're at your lowest in life, you always ask yourself these two questions. What's the gift in what I'm going through? And what am I going to become because of it? And that mindset will shift your whole fucking life.
I love that.
And life's a fucking mirror. When you're at your lowest, all you need is love. And the only way you're going to get it is by giving it. So while I'm in this bed fighting for my life, I start giving love in that ICU unit, bro. I bought all the breakfast, lunch, dinner of all the nurses. Then I started to get up. They put a pump in my chest, Louis, now. They figured it out. They didn't need, I didn't have tuberculosis. My heart was failing. So now they're going to put what's called an impeller pump in my chest. 13 staples, brother. Ibuprofen and ice. Because I wasn't even trying to mess with it. Yeah. And now I got this pump in my chest, bro, and I got to learn how to walk. 1, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. I can only do like 100 steps at first. Everything's spinning. Then you go next day. Let's go. Let's go. When we start doing 1 mile. We start doing 2 fucking miles. We start doing 3 fucking miles. We start doing 4 miles. We start doing 5 miles around an ICU unit. Do you understand how many times you gotta walk around an ICU unit 5 fucking miles with a pump in my chest? And I'm getting the other people up because I know when I'm at my lowest, I need fucking love. And I'm gonna give love to this unit because I'm gonna get it back. And that's what started to happen, bro. I started to serve in the darkest of times because of the man that I developed 14 years ago that had nothing to do with me, everything to do with my future generations, my son and his future generations, brother. I started to serve and God started to fucking bless me, bro. He started to bless me. I showed up. They got a plaque of me in there. Bro, they got me a Superman cape, brother. And every time I would leave the fucking unit, they play the Superman music. They got a fucking plaque of me in that hospital now, bro. God was using me and I knew that in that time. So now they're like, we're going to check. This pump is going to see if the heart's going to recover because your heart's a muscle. They still don't know why this happened to me, brother. So they go in and I go see Dr. Hassan now to see if my heart's going to recover or not. And he goes, Mr. Parisi, your heart's dead. I'm in the ICU, Louis, for like 3 weeks, my dude, 4 weeks. I haven't seen my son. I got to put a sheet in front of me when I FaceTime him. How do you deal with all this? God is everything or he is nothing, brother.
How old was your son when you were...
6.
So he's old enough to understand what's going on.
He understands everything, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to the depth, but I'm so grateful for this because he knows how much I love him. And when I'm not here no more, he'll know.
Yeah.
He'll know. Oh. So, bro, my heart's dead now. And now I got to get a heart transplant. Or, here's my options. LVAD machine. You know what that is?
No.
Okay. Imagine waking up on May 8th and now you're going through this. An LVAD machine is a machine that goes into your heart and they pump 4 wires out of your stomach. And you wear a belt that charges for 18 hours. Or a heart transplant.
And the LVAD machine would be forever.
It will be until you could get a heart.
Got it.
Because heart transplants, you could be on a list for a long time.
Yeah.
I got moved up because I had the impeller pump in my chest. So I was critical.
Got it.
But now I have to get an arm debridement because they messed my arm up in the hospital. So now when you have to get an arm debridement, like when you get a heart transplant, well, one, if you live through the transplant, right? Like this is a massive surgery. They're putting another human being's heart in your chest. Is the heart going to take? It's like all the questions. God is everything. He is nothing, my brother. Like I'm complete surrender. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Like you're using me.
Yeah.
And so I go in on June 1st and they debride my arm and they say it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. That's like I've had multiple surgeries now in this place. They cut me up 13 staples. Now I got my arm, like this much of my arm is missing. Like it was like that much of the chunk was missing.
Yeah.
It was crazy looking, brother. And now like when they did that, I have to take the pain meds.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather get my chest sawed open than have this cleaned for a month.
Yeah.
The pain on this is worse than having your chest sawed open when they clean it. If you ever watch my videos and watch me like shake, yeah, that was like every other day. And then after they clean it, it feels like someone literally took a flamethrower to your arm for 24 hours. And they would shoot me with 2 shots of Dilaudid and I would do OxyContin 15 milligrams. Like every whatever hours they would give it to me. And I still would be in like burning, excruciating Pain, brother. Talk about sword sharp, bro. We get into that too. because as soon as I was done with that shit, I didn't even withdraw. I was on it for 30 days after the hospital.
Yeah.
No withdrawal, bro. Sword sharp. Did it as my wife held it like the right way. I needed it.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that. So now I get the arm debridement, right? They say it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks before you can get a heart transplant, Mr. Parisi. Now prepare to spend the whole summer here. So I'm mentally preparing. How am I going to see my son, bro? I just wanted to get home to be with my son.
Yeah.
I get emotional with my son, you know? And they come in, Louis, and they say, you're getting a heart tomorrow. One day.
One day.
One day.
How?
God, brother. This prayer, bro. I prayed over here this morning. I had to take my mom for radiation. And I go in that church and I pray right on the corner, bro. I feel my prayer so deep. I feel my prayer so deep, brother. And then I come out of the transplant, and because I'm like a good addict my whole life, like I'm on the ventilator. I was on the ventilator awake like 3 times in the hospital for like 3-4 hours, bro. Because the medication didn't do it enough for me. And I'm on the ventilator, and I couldn't talk, but I could write. And if you go on my Instagram, you see like I wrote like, because brother, like underneath enlightenment, which is the highest that we could ever achieve as spirits, is like love and gratitude. And I wrote on the board, I don't care about pain. I'm grateful to feel and be alive. And I'm on a ventilator, bro. Tubes in my stomach, neck, chest sawed open, arm. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the pain that I'm alive on this ventilator.
This is after the heart transplant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, I don't care what I feel right now. I'm here.
I'm alive, bro. And you see, here's the thing about recovery, personal development, and relationship with God and serving others is that maybe Frank Parisi wasn't in that situation before, but Frank Parisi been in that situation before. Yep. Frank Parisi been in jails, institutions, hospitals, overdoses, situations that he didn't know when he was going to get out of. But the difference with this experience is that Frank Parisi had God with him. Yep. Frank Parisi had the 12 steps with him. He had recovery. He had personal development, and he knew how to serve, and he knew how to show up because of the man that he developed 14 years ago that had nothing to do with him, had everything to do with his future generations, and now God is using me to serve humanity, my brother. That's what the fuck is going on. And in that hospital, because it's never victim, it's always what's the gift and what I'm going through and what am I going to become because of it. I started to write a book. I started to write a book for my son so that he knew where his dad came from, the truth, not someone else's version, my version, bro, and where he came from, what he did to transform himself, and then the blueprint for him and his future generations. And that book became a bestseller in Germany, Canada, and the United States, bro. Okay, so it's always what's the gift and what we're going through and what are we going to become because of it. I just told you guys, never a victim in life, ever. You look at me and there's no excuse in life. So now it's like, let's go. You got the heart transplant, bro, let's go. Start to build the body. I get the arm surgery. They cut my leg off. They put it on my arm. I got a chunk of my leg missing too. They put it on my arm. Let's go. We walking 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. Now I can start to work out. We start building the body back. We start building the mind back.
And you're fucking jacked right now.
And we start building it back, bro. Non-negotiable daily habits create our lives, brother. Non-negotiable, bro. And then I started to see, in April, the company that I helped grow cut me. You believe that? Of last year, not this past April. I help a company in years make millions of dollars, and they cut me. After all that, while I'm building back my life, like literally, what's the gift and what you're going through? What are you going to become because of it? I sat alone. I got to see who didn't show up. Thank you for that gift, God. Family. People that were my friends that are no longer in my vibration or frequency. Thank you for the cuts, dog. You talking about you lost your heart and now you lost, like, are you talking about major income? Everything gone. And now you got to build back everything. God is everything. He is nothing. I still trust. I still showed up. I still served. I spoke everywhere with no money coming in. I still showed up as the greatest version of myself for the world, for my son. And then in the summertime, my book becomes a bestseller. Let me tell the story. And then I get the mail. On a Friday night, I get the mail. I never get the mail. And it's my donor's family. And I speak to Cora, my donor's mom. The parents are divorced. I love Cora. I love you, Cora. And I speak to Matthew, her dad. And I love you, Matthew, so much. And what's the odds, bro, that he's renewing his vows with his wife the next day?
Wow.
And invites me and my family to participate in the ceremony. And I walk his mother-in-law down the aisle. And my donor was a 19-year-old girl named Keely Bearden. And she died in a car accident, and her little sister was in the car, bro. And her sister listened to my heart, brother. Her heart and my body. The whole family. And I sat there with them, brother. Like, all the emotion, love, healing, connection, sadness. I've experienced things not many people have, brother, in this journey. And it's just beautiful, bro. You know?
Because you feel it. You could feel everything.
Everything, brother. You know? And I started this whole journey, dude, building everything back. I sat alone and I waited for everyone to come. And they all came. I own a mental health and substance abuse facility today down in San Antonio, Emotion Wellness, with my business partner, Jason Turner. He came. I have a podcast today with Jason, the Emotion Wellness Podcast. I'm a best-selling author and motivational speaker today. I'm a mindset coach today. And I have 3 other businesses that I'm partners in that are like startups. And I had nothing last year right now. I had nothing. And all this has come. God is everything, brother. When we heal our traumas, the environment and the belief systems that were never ours, miracles happen. I'm living proof. What's the odds of this, Lewis? Like a mess. What's the odds that I come out and I do all the social media stuff and it starts, getting viral and all these things? What's the odds that I do a call to action for my niece? Because my niece needed a kidney transplant her whole life. I get 175 views on Instagram, bro. What's the odds 20 people go donate for my niece? What's the odds May 8th, the day that I died, is her day that she got worked up for her kidney transplant? What's the odds that my donor's mom and I get emotional and sister donated for my niece? They got tested for her, bro. Like, you can't make this stuff up, brother. It doesn't make sense.
We call them GMCs. God-managed coincidences. Only shit that could happen that God is directly doing himself.
I spoke last week at Aspire Tour in San Antonio at Dave Meltzer's VIP dinner.
Yeah.
With like Tim Story and Renee and my donor's dad came with me. Like, I honor her everywhere I go, brother. That's why I'm telling you, my life has nothing to do with me. And God knew, like, that, like, my heart, like, because they still don't know why the heart died. But God said, like, I believe that it held generational curses and traumas, bro. The drugs, the vaccine, and the trauma caused that thing to die.
Yeah.
But it was God's plan. God wanted it removed because I've changed, bro. There's no way I'm sitting in here crying with you right now.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
What about 14 years ago?
Definitely not. We can't even talk about this stuff.
Yep.
But God gave me a young girl's heart to fulfill his mission for me. And that heart has completely changed my frequency. Because our heart is our aura. And I have female DNA, bro. So I'm truly the masculine and the feminine, the true divine, dog. Like, I have a different aura about me and a different energy about me. And I feel and I see and I act differently.
What's your donor's name?
Kaylee Bearden.
You're living for Frank and you're living for Kaylee.
Absolutely, brother. I'm living for Sonny, too.
Bro, and that means that you're living for your son. And that also means you're living for her family. You got so many different lives that you're living for right now, you know? And listen, man, I tell friends who are struggling, your worst day sober is 100 times better than your best day using. And no matter what happens to me in life today, I know I don't have to use. And listen, I've had some bad days in the last 2.5 years of my sobriety, but nothing that compares to what you've went through. And bro, first of all, there's 3 things I want to say. The first thing is your strength is unmatched, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's unmatched. Your sword is as sharp as it could possibly be. Maybe not as possibly it could be, because I know that somebody like you're always sharpening. But I'll say this from coming from similar Italian roots, your vulnerability, your compassion, your love, and the way you wear your heart on your sleeve and you're just emotionally available. We don't have men like that from where we came from.
I know.
And I don't think you realize the value and the strength that you're bringing to your son because of that. Because I grew up similar. No feelings. Keep kicking the can down the road. You're hurt. Get up. Stop crying. And I think today it's important. Listen, I think some of that resilience that my father instilled in me served me. But in other times, it is as double-edged of a sword as it could possibly be. Because sometimes I lack empathy. And sometimes I can't relate to other people, or I choose not to because that's the way I was raised. Don't care about anybody else. Worry about yourself. And the last thing I'll say is you have, just from this episode, you've changed my perspective of the father that I need to be. And I think that it's important to, our kids need love, bro.
So much.
They don't need nice sneakers. They don't need the best iPad.
They need us.
They need us.
They need us to teach and show up as our greatest version of ourselves because they watch us.
Yeah.
My son does yoga. He meditates. He works out. He eats healthy, bro. Watch, you'll see. He's like, for example, this is my son, and I love him so much for it. We were coming up to New York like in May, right? And we were going to a movie, And I was like, son, you want to get some candy for the movie? He goes, no, Dad, we're going to New York next week. We're going to have pizza. So he can't have candy. His own accountability within himself.
Yeah.
Woo, my man is sharp.
You did that, though.
Yes.
You taught him that.
Yes. Because he watches me. It's not what I say, it's what I do, dude. Yep. It's how I show up every single day. I brought him with me to when I spoke at Dave's thing. I bring him to Aspire Tour. I bring him everywhere. Yeah. Hang out on the court with Dominique Wilkins. Hang out with Darren. I mean, he's doing everything with me, bro. He met Jamie Hess. Like, he's gonna meet you. Like, he does everything that I do that I can bring him to. I expose him to my life, all of it. He was with Goggins. Like, he's like. I bring him to, I want to expose him, and then I take him downtown today. Yeah. And I teach him what we just talked about at his little 8-year-old self. Because I want him to see all of it. Yeah. Because where we live is not where I come from. Yeah. What I've developed in myself and for our family, my wife and I, it's not me. Because let me also immediately say this. I don't make it here without Kathy. Yeah. Without my wife, I'm not here. So like, really, the true hero in all of this is her. Yeah. I don't know how to operate without my wife. I'm not even joking. Like, she's like my grounding, my like, been with her for 30 years, brother.
Your wife and your son are probably so proud of you, bro.
I love them. That's why I take even my mom. I got my whole family. That's why I said my whole family.
And listen, bro, I'm telling you, you're like, yo, can I call my family?
Like, I'm like, me and my family everywhere I go.
Bro, you fucking better bring your family. You know what I mean? But that, dude, it's like, we're so blessed to have that.
Brother, we're so blessed to be alive in this body, in here, in this city, together, drinking water. Because when I left, you can't have any of that. Yeah. I can't touch you. Yeah. We could communicate, but I can't touch you. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like we get so caught up in like breakfast, lunch, dinner, making money, and we lose sight of what's truly important. It's the people that we love. Yeah. The people that we love most, and spending that time with them and constantly evolving and elevating on this journey, creation. And as we evolve, it's not for us though. The rising tide raises all boats. Yeah. As we evolve and elevate, so does everyone around us. And the better we become, the more we can make other people better.
That's the name of the game, bro.
That's life.
Make this earth better than what it was when you came on it.
Correct. Total shift. And everything I do, everything I touch, every business I'm involved in is all about service. Like truly like serving humanity. You know what I mean? Yeah. Helping. We have a water company called Sober Water. It's out in Colorado. Small equity stake in it, but our mission is to end plastic. Because it's in the cans and bottles. Yeah. And then also proceeds are going towards building out a whole treatment center in Southern Colorado that's funded by the company for people that can't afford treatment. Yeah.
We need more of that.
Yeah. So everything's mission driven that we step into, bro. It's like God blesses us with all that other stuff when you're really like walking with him. You know what I mean?
I had somebody call me today to go to treatment. And thank God he's fortunate. He's a very wealthy man. Needs to go to treatment. I said, you got health? He said, where should I go? Help me. I said, do you have health insurance? He said, no. And I said, bro, a good treatment center is $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for 30 days. He said, I don't care. I just need help. Get me the fuck out of here. Mm. And I remember I was thinking about this for like an hour today. I was like, how many people are suffering like my friend is that don't have any money?
No resource.
That don't have health insurance. Where do they go?
Right.
Where do they go?
I know.
So we need more of that, bro.
Yeah.
And listen, God will always reward us when we're taking care of someone else.
Always, brother.
I give you the shirt off my back because you don't have a shirt. God's going to give me 10 shirts.
100%. That's why he blessed me. I started to always give love. I was calling sponsees up in the hospital. How about this? Not to go back, but I'm in the hospital and my wife would guard the door. And then in walks Johnny because my wife left. I didn't want Johnny there. Johnny Wenberg. I love you, Johnny. I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen him since then. Yeah. But I owned a center in Texas at a time, and I did a 12-step call on this kid. I literally went in the house, owning the center, and pulled him out of the house. Put him in the car, took him to my place, scholarshiped him for 2 months, and then hired him as like a tech and had him work there for like a year.
Yeah.
And now he like sells roofs. He's making like $400,000. Like he's doing great, right?
Yeah.
But in walks Johnny, who I didn't only one of close friends there. And I said, Johnny, what the fuck are you doing here? I don't want no one to see me like this. And he said, and it's not me, but like, this is why we do this, right? He says, you're Superman to me, bro. You pulled me out of that house 8 years ago. I had to come see you. That's the shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's the shit. Because when I was dying, I just lived through it. Didn't think about the cars or the house or I thought about the experiences. I thought, honestly, bro, of all the people I helped, I felt proud of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think of those moments.
You don't think about your watch or your car when you're about to die.
Shits about any of that, bro. It's the impact you made on others and all the experiences you had with your loved ones. And that's what I pour into today, bro. I know what like really matters. And I'm not going to do shit that doesn't align with me or vibrate on the same frequency. I need harmony in my life always.
Yeah.
So I'm never doing none that takes me out of that alignment.
Man, I've shot like 18 episodes, bro. No disrespect to anyone that's come on the podcast, but I feel like, I don't know how to explain how I feel right now. I just feel like this was the most impactful interview I've ever done and most insightful. And it's probably the first interview that's made me really want to leave and really think about what I'm doing right now and how I could be better for my son, for my fiance, and for myself. Like, what could I really be doing to make an impact? Like, am I doing enough? Am I helping enough people? I don't think I am. I don't think just doing this is helping enough people. I'm releasing episodes every Tuesday. Like if I'm going to be doing this, I need to be really doing it when that camera's off. You know, that's really where it comes in. Listen, I do 12-step work, and a lot of friends reach out to me when they're struggling, and I've helped people get sober and get into the rooms and whatnot. But what about the people that aren't asking me for help that need help? That's the next step. That's the next level up. You know?
Yeah.
I go to the gym, bro. I eat clean. I do all that. I got the sobriety thing. Like it's all good. It's all good. My prayer and meditation is great. It's time to reach out a little bit further.
Yeah. Well, then you do that.
Yeah.
Because God's telling you to do that, brother.
Yeah.
And he's never going to steer you.
Like I believe God came to me today through you.
Yeah. It always happens. All this is not me, brother. You know? You're not the first person to tell me that in an interview.
Yeah, bro. You're just... First of all, I'm so happy we met.
Me too. You're a brother now because I want to learn more about you. Maybe at dinner after this. But whenever we go through these things, because here's the other thing for the listeners, like vulnerability breeds connection and healing.
Yeah.
Because I open myself up to you, I allow you to open yourself up to me.
Yeah.
With no judgment.
Yeah.
And that brings healing. That's how we heal.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how the world heals.
That's how the world heals, brother. You know? Being authentic, living in integrity, and being honest. You know?
I love you, bro. Thank you for coming on today. I love you too,
brother. Thank you for having me on.
I'm excited to see where this journey goes for both of us.
Yeah.
And any way I could be of service and help you, and I'm here for you, bro, 24/7.
I appreciate it, my bro. I really do.